My garbage person of the week is going to be, I'm going to say Stephen Miller, but he's hardly the only one who is just peeing their pants over the fact that a new Star Trek show has come out. And oh no, it's woke, which Star Trek has never been before. He tweeted this clip from End Wokeness, the Russian bot account. They put out this clip from the new Starfleet Academy show. Stephen Miller says, tragic, but it's not too late for Paramount Plus to save the franchise. Step one, reconcile with William Shatner and give him total creative control, which is a stupid idea for a lot of different reasons. First of all, bear in mind as we talk about this, so I'm gonna admit, I haven't seen the show yet, it just came out. But I feel like that's okay for me to comment on this because Stephen Miller also definitely has not watched the show, and Wokeness has definitely not watched the show. I don't even know if it broadcasts in Russia. But anyway, a couple of other problems with the idea of putting William Shatner in charge. William Shatner is 94 years old. So he's a little old, but that's not the only issue. He's never been in charge of Star Trek. I looked it up to make sure. Now, not only has he never been in charge of Star Trek, we all know that if you're a Trekkie. He's never written an episode. He directed one episode, way less than many other Star Trek actors, which have directed way more. He co-wrote some tie-in novels. I guess that's like the closest connection. But like you might suspect that Stephen Miller is not actually commenting on this because he's a longtime fan. When you bear in mind, do you know what percentage of Star Trek, just the TV, has come out since the original series ended? 95%. He's still pining, supposedly. By the way, he's not even old enough to have watched the original series when it was on. He's pretending to like pine for William Shatner. That's none of Star Trek. That's not Next Gen, that's not Voyager, that's not DS9, that's not even Enterprise at that point, let alone the new stuff, but he doesn't even know that. And the biggest issue, of course, and they will continue to whine about stuff that they're not even watching and not understanding what it's about. Star Trek, even if this new series is woke, I don't even know if it is or whatever, Star Trek has always been wildly diverse in its casting. They're just complaining about the fact that there's a black actress who's one of the main two. Black actors and actresses have always been a big part of Star Trek from the very beginning. Do you know how much Stephen Miller would empty his bladder all over his dockers if he saw that William Shatner had the first interracial kiss on TV with a black woman? And Star Trek has always had episodes about gender identity and identity overall. Like they don't, Whoopi Goldberg was a star. Zoe Saldana, apparently the actress who's been in the movies that have made the most money in history. She was one of the stars. Nichelle Nichols, obviously originally, let alone my favorite of the shows, Voyager, has a wildly diverse crew. Have they watched any of the franchise that they are purporting to be fans of? And I submit to you that they have not. What do you think?
There's so many alien races in Star Trek. And also, if you're gonna give William Shatner control of anything, give him control of ice. Because when he played TJ Hooker and a car was coming after him, he did the right thing. He jumped on the hood. He always jumped on the hood. There's an SNL sketch making fun of the fact that TJ Hooker would just always be on the hood of a car.
I haven't seen that.
He didn't pull out his gun and shoot everybody. But I agree with you. I was just thinking about, there's so many alien races and justice and the council, and people are talking back and forth. The evil bellicose people are the bad guys, your Romulan is showing.
Yeah, there's literally an episode of Next Generation where they have some people who'd been cryogenically frozen, and one of them is like a then current time businessman. He's the bad guy. That's what the show has always been about. You fools, you morons.
And they're such whiners. And when they try to make this content on their own, it's not successful. They have one a year that they do, but Ben Shapiro spent millions of spent millions of dollars trying to make a competitor to any of this, and it's flopped. It's not good because they don't understand good storytelling. There was a funny thing I saw where someone did a satirical Onion-like piece where Ben Shapiro leaks his review of Superwoman or Supergirl, that 8 months early before it comes out because they know what they're gonna say. It's that lazy thing that happens, and a lot of your favorite creators do it, where they're just like phoning it in. They're happy they got a cut and paste take, but usually a lot of that is just like AI slop. But that AI slop is in control of our federal government.
Yeah, and like I said, I've liked some of the new stuff. I haven't liked others, but the parts that are bad aren't bad because they're woke. Season 3 of Picard wasn't less woke than season 1 or 2. It was just better written, had a better plot. But these people can't see past this because they either are mentally crippled by identity politics, which is all this is, the whining that they're doing, or they know that they have to pretend to be for their base and to distract their base from what they're actually doing with the power that they have. So those are our garbage people of the week. 59,000 of you voted for the community garbage person of the week. 2% going to Peter Thiel for trying to kill the California wealth tax. 4% to Mike Pompeo for saying history shouldn't focus on the Gaza victims. 32% to Stephen Miller for saying ICE agents have federal immunity, but 62% went to Kristi Noem, your garbage person of the week, for doubling down and lying about Renee Good, which is not good at all. The hero of the week had 73,000 votes. Love to see that. 5% choosing Zoran Mamdani for working to lower childcare costs with Miss Rachel, no big deal. 6% to Jerome Powell for calling out the DOJ's investigation. 25% to the Ford worker who called Trump a pedo protector. Oh, that one didn't win. Okay, I guess it makes sense. 64% for the citizens of Minnesota for protesting ICE and honoring Renee Good. I guess that should win. Thank you to everybody who voted.